Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we return to talking about President Trump and how the media is trying to attack him for a very interesting reason this time. These attacks have happened for a number and a variety of reasons which we've seen time and time again, and as we've done before, I'm going to go ahead and play defense for the president since many other people just won't do it. I know it sounds like I'm his little cheerleader piggyback kind of guy, but I just love the guy and I can't stand it when he gets railed and derided and lied about in the media. And this time is kind of similar too. It's actually a more nuanced story, so I'm going to give you guys some points and admit where the president might have been wrong about a few things, but he's also right in some ways too. This story is concerning the president playing golf over the weekend. On Saturday, the president played some golf and he got some backlash for it, as has happened in a number of times throughout history. The press tends to attack presidents for silly reasons like this because they want to pretend, oh, he shouldn't have any free time, he shouldn't be doing things on his own, playing too much golf acts like you're lazy and you're not doing your job. But the truth is, every president throughout history has played some golf. I think almost literally every single one. Now, how much they played has certainly varied, and when and where they do it has changed too. And in this situation, we're going to compare President Trump to President Obama, and it's a comparison that the press has brought up on their own, and I want to go ahead and spell it out for you guys and explain it because they're kind of doing it in a misleading and unfair way, and I'm going to kind of play damage control and show you guys how it all breaks down. Let's go to the tweet in question. It talks about Trump golfing. It's from Andrew. It says, Trump is golfing today. In 2014 on Fox and Friends, he criticized Obama for golfing when there were 2 cases of Ebola in the United States, saying it sends the wrong signal and he should have given up golf as president to really focus on the job. Now, this obviously could be considered hypocritical, and to some certain degrees it is. I'll admit that. I think the whole giving up golf while you're president thing might be something Trump would even regret saying. Now that he's president, now that he's playing golf, he can recognize the fact that sometimes even the leader of the free world needs to have a day off. And in addition, the other thing about golf that people don't realize is golf is great exercise, especially for older people who can't necessarily do the more rigorous hardcore exercises. Like golf is a nice light kind of easy exercise. You walk around, you carry your clubs, maybe you drive the cart, you get a little walking in some sun, and it's good, and it's a good way to keep you healthy. And in this situation, I mean, we want our president to be healthy, right? We want him to have a good body, a good strength, a good mind and spirit, and this all can help that. So I don't necessarily agree with criticizing any president for playing golf. Now, granted, if they're playing too much golf, it definitely could be a situation. I think this was a criticism lauded at George W. Bush, I believe, the president from the early 2000s. George W. Bush was attacked for playing golf, but he actually had a situation where he played like a lot of golf, like maybe too much. I'm not sure those numbers and how they spread throughout his presidency, but that's a different argument. The fact of the matter today is that Trump is playing golf and there's a health crisis, and we have this situation where he criticized Obama for playing golf in a similar situation, but I really don't see the similarities as the same. Like, I think it's a very different kind of thing, and I'm going to explain why in a minute. But first, let's check out some of this clip and see what the video says.
Is right after he talked to the Health and Human Services Secretary, he went golfing for the 200th round of golf of his presidency.
Well, he certainly knows a good game because golf is a great game. Nobody likes it more than me, but he's played a lot of golf. There's no question about it.
Right.
And, when you're president, you sort of say, like, I'm going to sort of give it up for a couple of years. And
Okay, so that's the part where he says to give it up. And I think here's the next point is the president, and the argument is Obama is playing a lot of golf. He's playing 200 rounds. That's a lot of days of golf. I mean, golf is a long game too. It takes 18 holes. If you assume he plays these full games, it's a 3 or 4 hour mission. I mean, that's a long thing. But like I said before, it's not necessarily bad because even the busiest person in the world, even a CEO of a major corporation or a president of a country, they have to have time off too. We can't necessarily keep them working and alert 24/7. They need to sleep, they need to eat, they need to take breaks, they need to see their family, and they also need to exercise and kind of blow off some steam. So if they want to play golf once in a while, that's understandable. But The fact that a president plays so many rounds is what's in question here. And that's what Trump is questioning about Obama, kind of saying he played too much. I don't know what the numbers are on Trump. I don't think he's played nearly as much. And as this comment below says, it says Trump hasn't played golf since March 8th. So it's been a full 2 months. And that's not that big of a deal. I mean, most guys, I don't play a ton myself anymore. I've been actually trying to get back into it. But yeah, playing once a month isn't a big deal. Doing anything once a month isn't a big deal. It's like going to a movie or, having a basketball game or something. Like some guys will play pickup basketball. Doing something like that once a month isn't that big a deal, even if you're the president. And clearly the president has taken time off. He hasn't played for over 2 months. Now, there is that contradiction, I'll admit. Like I said, he said that the president should be not playing golf, like take off for a few years. I don't think Trump necessarily did that. I think he's sort of changed his mind on things. This clip was from 6 years ago, after all. And it was just a different situation, too. I'm not sure if Trump was even thinking or officially running for president at this time. He might have been. I know his campaign definitely started by 2015, but 2014 was pretty early on. And at this point, he was just kind of a Obama detractor. He was always bashing Obama. So this could be also chalked up to him kind of getting over the top and getting kind of excitable and just being a little bombastic, which tends to be a Trump kind of thing. He speaks loudly and proudly. And that's why he's interesting and why people want to listen to him. And sometimes, yeah, he goes a little too far. I don't think necessarily presidents shouldn't have to quit for years and years. Maybe if we're in the middle of a war, and currently, yeah, we're in the middle of a crisis, and the president did definitely take a long break. And that goes back to the situation that's different with Obama. And I think the reason they kind of criticize Obama here is because, yeah, it was only 2 cases of that Ebola virus, but the point was that Obama really didn't do anything. Like, he wasn't responding at all, even though it was just 2 cases. Like, he had this health scare, he had this small little blip that was definitely smaller than what's going on now, but Trump responded to what we have now. He has a task force. He's been doing stuff since January, February. He took off from any kind of golf or free time stuff for a full 2 months. So he's been responding, and him kind of responding for months and months and then taking 1 day off, that's way different than what Obama did. Obama didn't do anything and kind of ignored the problem and then just went and played golf. Like, that's a totally different situation. And I can understand why it's confusing and maybe the comparison is tempting. But the point is, it's not fair and it's totally different. And aside from that one small thing I was saying that definitely probably was regrettable for the president to say previously. But besides that, I think his side still stands up. And I think the differences here are very vast and telling. And I think the main point is, and the problem is, the press is just going after Trump any way possible. And they're pulling this classic criticizing his golfing experiences. And that's just been happening pretty much with every president. And it's just a petty attack on their point. And their comparison here to Obama is weak and very tenuous at best.
And I'm going to really focus on the job. How about right after the beheading, he then walks over, he gives a news conference, and then walks right outside and tees it up.
Right.
There are times to play golf. We all love golf. There are times to play, and there are times that you can't play. And it sends the wrong signal, but he plays a lot of golf.
But he also had 7 fundraisers last week, some business in between. So it's right after.
Okay, so that just further accents the point. He talked about some other kind of bad situation where Obama went and played golf the next day, and then we're talking about the problem of him playing too much golf, like a lot of golf, and also just not doing anything after this potential crisis, like kind of ignoring it and moving on to golf, and then having his fundraisers and laughing it up and talking to these people. It's a totally different comparison, and I think we've already spelled out most of the differences. So let's read on and see what these kinds of other tweets say. It says here, for the first time since March 8th, President Trump is hitting the links. He is at his golf club in Sterling, Virginia. Here's a JonTron meme. Here's Trump, what does hypocrisy mean? Fox News are hypocrites and liars, but worse, they are a danger to our republic. Pretty dramatic interpretation of things, I would say. And yeah, you got to remember, here's some stuff about Memorial Day. This person's talking about the differences between the cases. Yeah, I think like we kind of broke it down, and I think the point stands that the fact of the matter is, yeah, there's some parts there you could criticize Trump for, but the general points here, they're not that bad. Like, it's not because he's playing golf and they're playing golf. It's not because Trump's not responding and he's not responding. The point is, the greater point is, Obama was playing way too much golf all the time, and he didn't respond to things like Ebola. He just went and played golf. Trump, on the other hand, he's being very reasonable. He's responded to crises that needed them. He's done everything he could, like coming after all the stuff in the virus. He's doing the press conferences every day. He's handled it, and he's kind of rewarded himself with the game of golf. That's a big difference. Like, it's like saying, oh, you're going to go drink this weekend, or hey, I'm going to drink today. It's like, no, Trump waited a whole week, got his work done, and then went and played golf at the end of the week. But in the case with Obama played golf on Monday morning and didn't go to work. That's an apt comparison. That's how I would explain this to someone who doesn't get what's going on. And granted, it might have went a little too far in that previous phone call from 6 years ago, but I think the idea to criticize Trump for playing one game of golf after 2 months off, after dealing with the crisis for months, it's ridiculous. And like I said, also, it's like, it's a good way to exercise. We want our president to be healthy. We want him to have a good spirit too. It lifts morale. He obviously likes golf. People like golf. It's a great sport. It's a lot of fun. Gets you exercise, gets you focusing, gets you kind of working a few different muscles and stuff, hand-eye coordination. It's good for the president to do it in moderation. It's not good to do it too much and to ignore your duties while you do. So that about wraps things up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Comment your thoughts on everything below. I know there's a little bit of a discussion here. There's a little bit of a nuance. I may be wrong. I may be giving the president too much credit, not enough credit. Obama is definitely someone we could all agree that did something terrible. But let's go ahead and discuss it all in the comments. Tell me what you think. Have it all below, have it out, let's hammer it out, and also hit that like button to help support this channel. That helps spread the video. Share it on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube if you can and if you get a chance. And until next time, you guys have a great day. Let me just take a quick moment to talk to you about my second channel. I recently relaunched and revamped No Bullshit 2, and it's now called NoBS News. I'm going to be doing new videos on there almost every day on weekdays, and then weekends we're going to be doing more live streams. So make sure you guys check out that second channel. There's already like say 10 or 12 more videos on there for you to check out right now. So if you want more content, search NoBS News on YouTube or click the link below this video.